Next, bringing help to developing countries for a widely untreated birth defect. Fred DeSam Lazaro has a report from India's commercial capital, Mumbai, on a condition called clubfoot. It's part of his ongoing series, Agents for Change.
It only sounds painful. This wailing 5-year-old is receiving the very same treatment, a full-leg plaster cast, as this young, perfectly happy infant. The therapy here in Mumbai's Wadia Charitable Hospital will save these children from a life of pain and social isolation that comes from clubfoot. It's a common birth defect that in wealthy countries is usually corrected early in life. But in the developing world, it remains largely untreated and becomes a disability, says orthopedist Dr. Alaric Arujas.
It is probably the second or the third important cause of physical disability in India after road traffic accidents and trauma. It's more of a cosmetic problem initially. And as they grow older and they find that they can no longer play with their friends, that's when it starts sinking in that this is a functional problem as well.
Clubfoot is a congenital birth defect in which a foot, in some cases both feet, grow inward. Patients learn to walk on the side of the foot. 26-year-old Madhu Varma says it's painful for sustained periods, but like most sufferers, she learned to adapt. What she could not deal with was the sight of her daughter, Madhuri, when she too was born with clubfoot.
It was really difficult. I cried for days when I saw my child's foot. I couldn't eat. I was just sick with worry. But they told me that with plaster they could treat it.
So this is the daughter and this is the mother, and the daughter's foot is fully corrected.
That correction once required extensive surgery, Dr. Arujas says. Now treatment in most cases is a series of casts over several weeks, less invasive, less expensive, and less painful.
It's such a supple method. We don't force the foot in any way at all. So as you can see that every time we move the foot just as much as the child allows. This is a procedure which is done without any anesthetic.
Once corrected, patients like 5-year-old Nishant wear a brace attached to an outward-facing pair of shoes. In a few months, as in this case, it's only needed at night and nap time. Nishant shows no signs of abnormal gait. His parents, struggling slum dwellers, spent hundreds of dollars at ill-equipped and poorly informed private clinics with little success.
We had never heard of clubfoot until he was born. We felt terrible, but when we brought him to Mumbai, 2 or 3 people told me that Wadia Hospital has the best treatment.
That treatment was developed by an orthopedic surgeon named Ignacio Ponseti, half a world away here in Iowa, and half a century ago. It would take decades before the Ponseti method became standard practice for treating clubfoot. Why do you suppose it took as long as it did?
One, I think, is that the kinds of people that were treating clubfoot, at least in the US, were orthopedic surgeons. And I think they became surgeons for a reason. They liked doing surgery, and this was introducing a non-surgical technique. And I think there was some resistance to that.
Cheska Colorado Mansfeld, a business consultant, lived in Iowa City, where Ponseti, a Spanish immigrant, was a local legend.
Dr. Ponseti's dying wish, he was in his 90s at that time, was to try to get his treatment out to the rest of the world.
Colorado Mansfeld started one of several non-profit efforts to fulfill Dr. Ponseti's wish to take the non-surgical approach, finally standard in the U.S., to developing countries. She co-founded a charity in 2010 called Miracle Feet, supported mostly by high-net-worth individuals and foundations. It's taken the Ponseti method and message to clinics in 19 countries so far, with some 23,000 patients, including those in Mumbai, providing training and supplies at low or no cost, including braces patients will use after their cast treatments are done. In India, casting is done by surgeons, but in countries where they aren't available, non-physicians are trained. Another key role is that of clinic assistants, paid by Miracle Feet.
They work to educate that family through the bracing phase to make sure that the children wear the brace at night and complete the treatment over the next 4 years. So the correction itself only takes 2 to 3 months, but the follow-up period of maintaining that correction is absolutely critical.
Veteran orthopedic surgeon Rujita Mehta says parents of clubfoot patients, once terrified of the prospect and cost of surgery, are elated when they discover it's no longer needed.
The acceptability, therefore, of Ponseti is huge.
It's much simpler, it's
Yeah.
less intimidating.
Absolutely.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheaper, and this is the kind of thing you can apply in a public health program.
The number of children being treated has tripled over the past decade or so, yet 5 out of 6 clubfoot patients go untreated in developing countries like India, still enduring an easily correctable condition for the rest of their lives. So the challenge is to get the word out early.
Absolutely. And the more awareness is there, the earlier they come, the easier to treat, the better deformity correction.
A deformity that's correctable even in adulthood, as Madhu Varma discovered when getting her daughter treated.
तो इससे पहले आपने ट्रीटमेंट क्यों नहीं लिया है?
She became the oldest patient this clinic has ever treated.
There's a very good possibility that just with serial castings by the Ponseti method, we should be able to get a full correction in her.
She had a wedding to attend, she told the doctors, where she and daughter Madhuri would be able to dance. For the PBS NewsHour, this is Fred DeSam-Lazaro in Mumbai.
And that is something to celebrate. Fred's reporting is a partnership with the Undertold Stories Project at the University of St. Thomas in Minnesota.